everyone? It's me, Stef the Alter Nerd, your nerdy alternative, and welcome back to my channel. Now, it seemed like everyone and his freaking dog tuned in last night to watch the series finale of Line of Duty. The whole of the UK, their eyeballs were firmly in the direction of this series finale. Last night I did a watch party. Thank you to everyone that came along and supported. I really do appreciate it. I did promise everyone that if we reached 100 subscribers, I would be doing a full-on Stef rant video of the finale. Because dudes, I got things to say and I got emotion to let out here because it's all pent up. Last night I had to be a little bit quiet because my partner was asleep in the other room. Just saying. But there you go. But anyway, you can thank Dave Ono for being the 100th subscriber and for making this happen. So, dude, this video dedicated to you, mate. Ian Buckells. Ian Buckells? Ian freaking Buckells? You what? Seriously, I have gone through 6 freaking seasons, nearly 10 years of Line of Duty to find out that Hitch, the fourth man, the linchpin, one of the dudes masterminding and manipulating the OCG and the police force behind the scenes, ended up to be bubbling freaking Ian Buckells. You what? Come again? Shut the front door on the way out. That is absolutely freaking ridiculous. Like, seriously, on Twitter last night, disappointing was trending. Like, over 27,000 tweets the last time I checked. And I'm not freaking surprised. You what? Do you know what? Writers, I could have done this for free. Because I got a better idea for you. The Hitch, the fourth man, Thirlwell. And I'll tell you why. Thirlwell was found dead in Spain, right? Okay, now he's got the power and he's got the connections to be able to turn around to the coroner and be like, right, okay, do a little bit of shifty paperwork, say that the DNA is all mine even though it's not, this, that and the other, and declare me as dead. And then Thirlwell, who's actually alive, slinks off, goes back into hiding, but is still able to pull the OCG strings behind the scenes and manipulate the police force and all that malarkey, right? And so then towards the end of the series finale, AC12 find out that Thirlwell is still alive, that he's Hitch, that he's the fourth man, and then that goes into season 7 where it's a cat and mouse game, and you know, and the chase is freaking on to catch Hitch, the fourth man. Isn't that more exciting and better than Ian freaking Buckells being Hitch? Just saying. Do you know what? I would have accepted at this point Carmichael being Hitch, to be fair. And do you know why? The letter freaking H. When you see the name Ian Buckells, just, you know, catch a beady eye over that name, because do you know what's missing? The letter freaking H. Now, if the caddy, Cotton, was completely illiterate, then I'd understand. But he wasn't. He was highly intelligent. He knew what he was saying in his dying words. He said freaking H, and I don't see a letter H in Ian Buckells' name. You freaking kidding me? But you know where there's a Hitch? Thirlwell and Carmichael. Just saying, dudes. I'm absolutely freaking angry because, to be fair, this was disappointing and underwhelming. Now, I'll give the writers the due. It was a twist. Freaking Buckells? Like, seriously? Who could have guessed? But that's absolutely bullshit. They have, in this sense, ruined the finale of Line of Duty. And don't even get me on Ted Hastings. Apparently, and this is where someone's trying to square the freaking circle here, there are clues that we might have missed about Buckells being H, the actual fourth man. And do you know who wrote this article? Well, someone in the Radio Times. All the clues you might have missed about Line of Duty's H, the fourth man. Apparently, the identity was in plain sight if we knew where to look. You what? Now, I'm just going to skim through this, but this is how some people are now trying to square the circle to be like, no, the finale we're still all good. The backlash, no, you just don't understand. It was there all along. It was there all along. Ah, go shut the front door on the way out. It's by this dude called Michael Hogan, right? And he recognises that at the end of the day, when it was announced that Buckells was H, you know, everyone was like, Buckells? You what? Seriously? What? So what he does is he explains pre-series falling in with a bad crowd. So we know from series 6 that he was on a team of detectives that was investigating the murder of a character called Lawrence Christopher. But that group of detectives and coppers, the majority of them were all bent. Kind of like a guilty by association kind of thing. Okay, does that mean he's freaking H, the fourth man? Hell no! Moving slightly on to series 1. Bent friends in high places. At this point, he ascended to detective inspector, assigned to look into Laverty's disappearance. Essentially, he and CSU Derek Hilton, that they were on chummy first name terms. That don't mean diddly squat. You know, there'd be a lot of police officers that Hilton would have been on first name terms with. Does that mean that they're freaking H? I think not. When he was talking to DCI Tony Gates, Gates was like, do you know about financial irregularities? Buckells gave a sly smile and replied, enough. Okay, those two options there, right? Those two examples. That still does not mean that Buckells was freaking H. Because again, I'll tell you why. When DCI Tony Gates turns around and is like, do you know about financial irregularities? And Buckells gives a little bit of a sly smile and he's like, enough. Dude could have just been peacocking there. Do you know what I mean? Like boasting that he's in the in crowd. But that again does not mean that he's freaking H. This writer is trying to square the circle here to try and calm down the disappointment and the sheer anger of the ridiculousness that they announced that Buckells was freaking H and the fourth man. Are you kidding me? This is ridiculous. Do you know what I mean? It defies freaking belief, right? We move on. Series 4, hostility to AC-12. He reappears as the replacement for DCI Ros Huntley. He finds out that Kate Fleming is on the team, and Buckells correctly surmises that she's there in AC-12 capacity. He does not like AC-12 at all, right? And this writer is saying that's one of the clues that he was H, the fourth man. You what? The majority of the police force hates AC-12 to their core. But if the majority of the police force hates AC-12, does that mean that they're H as well, the fourth freaking man? I think not. The fourth man arrives. Cotton's dying declaration. What does this have to do with Buckells ending up being H? You what? Seriously? Again, shut the front door on the way out. That is freaking ridiculous. And again, we move on to his next part of this article. The writer basically turns around and is like, Buckells, with all the mistakes he made and the decision dodging and the bumblingness of his investigation team that he led, basically it was actually calculated. He was meant to show himself as bumbling to throw everyone off the set, that he was H, blah, 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 and that he was essentially the fourth man. Dude! There were a ton of police officers that manipulated the inquiry to throw people off the scent. Don't mean that they were freaking H, does it? And this one is even more ridiculous. He talks about that, you know, Tommy Hunter was one of the ringleaders, was apprehended at Edge Park Golf Club, right? And that Cotton got his caddy name because he was groomed while carrying Hunter's clubs. There's this whole thing that this writer's trying to explain that anyone essentially associated with golf is bent and is probably one of the four of the OCG crime ring kind of situation, right? It was an ominous sign early in Series 6 when viewers spotted a golf bag stashed in the corner of Buckells' office, not to mention framed photos of himself out on the fairways and greens. If you play golf, you are corrupt Ben officer, and you're probably one of the top level in the OCG. I'll let that one sit with you for like a minute. Ridiculous, right? What the hell? And we move on. We find out that it was Buckells that let PC Ryan Pilkington in on the police force and on his team. And that apparently is a clue that he's H, the fourth man. So the writer continues. Buckells gives PC Ryan Pilkington accommodation after the reservoir car crash. Anything like that is gonna lift you up above the parapet above everyone else and be noticed and recognised for such accommodation. Yes. Does that mean that Buckells was freaking H? No. Buckells could have just been a freaking foot soldier, knowing what he had to do to help support his fellow bent officer and get him risen through the ranks the best way that he could. And again, does that mean that he was H the fourth man? No, it doesn't. Just means he's just helping a mate along. I say a mate, you know what I mean. Freaking hell! And we so move on. Now, in this part, essentially, when Buckells is arrested for his dodgy actions, that does not mean he is freaking H the fourth man, by the way, if you're not getting the theme of this rant at this point. It mentions that Jo Davidson, she goes home, she goes on the laptop to speak to her OCG rep dude, whoever she's in contact with, and because he doesn't reply, oh, what a coincidence! Buckells is in custody, and Davidson goes on to the OCG chat room, puts in a message, doesn't get a reply. Oh, let's put two and two together and just assume that, because Buckells was in custody, means that she would never get a reply. Maybe the fourth man H that she was in contact with was out with his family, out with his mates, and not available to respond at the time. Maybe it was Thurwell who at the time was kind of sorting out his own situation. Again, just to reiterate, my theory, he's not dead. He was just figuring out how to fake his own death and getting that implemented and all that lot and going through with it. There are many other reasons why she didn't get a freaking response. No, and no, still not good enough. What he explains is that when Buckells is in prison, he distracts the bent lawyer Jimmy Lakewell, right? Before the OCG people come in and essentially end him, right? He mentions that we assumed that it was simply a warning to Buckells to basically shut the hell up, don't say a freaking word, otherwise that'll happen to you as well, mate. To be fair, that's plausible. That I can get on board with, right? But the writer states that because he was visibly shaken, it's because he normally insulates himself from OCG violence. He's always away from that. Yo, what? Hello? Usually, just putting it out there, for someone to become top dog, they have to rise through the ranks, right? And in order to do so, you gotta get your hands dirty and you gotta partake in a little bit of violence. For this dude to turn around and be like, oh, he was visibly shaken because he's not used to seeing violence because he's the top dog, therefore he's H, he's the fourth man. Oh my goodness, the mental gymnastics in this freaking article to explain away the disappointment of everyone and say, no, actually, yeah, Buckells was H all along. He was the fourth man. No, dude. Shut the front door on the way out. You are squaring a freaking circle here. And the finale, that miffed me off to no end when it was finally revealed that Buckells was H, the fourth man. And you know how that was revealed? Dude was in the interrogation room saying no comment to AC-12. Okay, I get that. I can be on board with that. But it was only when Hastings turns around and said, you know, you're incompetent, you're a blundering fool, that all of a sudden then he's going to announce himself and be like, yeah, right, I'm a blundering fool. I'm only the one that's made total mugs out of you lot. You what? You'd think one of the big bosses of an OCG crime ring situation would be a little bit more self-assured in himself. I wouldn't take the bait like that and then be all peacocking with his chest out being like, yeah, you know what, I'm H all along. You're the fools, dude, because I've been playing you like freaking puppets. No. Oh, and then they strong arm in the whole thing that, you know, he's got a 3 million property portfolio and bank accounts registered in the Cayman Islands. We didn't know this before. That was only just pretty much announced in that interrogation room. Building this dude up to be H the fourth man failed. And this article trying to explain how he was built up to be H, the fourth man, completely failed. And the bit that links Buckells to being H, the fourth man, the dude at the top of the crime ring, the OCG dude, all along, is that basically he missed a couple of English lessons at school and can't spell the word definitely correct. What? No! This was freaking trash. No, and no. I am miffed. The more I think about this, the more miffed I get. Right. This is my overall stance, right? Line of Duty is a freaking piece of TV art, right? British TV art. Homegrown, homemade, proper proud of it, right? Everything is absolutely fantastic and TV gold apart from this finale. So, for those that are turning around and saying, oh, this finale basically means that the whole back catalogue of Line of Duty is absolutely shiz, I disagree with you. I do, okay? Everything up to the finale from yesterday, freaking fantastic. The finale, trash. I really, really, really hope that there is a season 7, because I really, 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 really hope that they rectify this mistake of Buckells being Hitch. And that is it for my Stef rant on the finale of the Line of Duty. I promised you it was going to be something for your eyeballs and your ear holes as well, admittedly. So if you liked this and me, and you want to see more, subscribe down below and turn the notification bell on so you're notified every time I either upload a video or go live. Like, share, comment down below. If you agree with me, who do you think H should have been? I would love to know your theories as well. You can follow me on all my socials, Twitter, Instagram, Stef the Alter Nerd. You'll see a little bit of behind the scenes stuff. And until the next time, you guys, laters.